Mic check. Peace, power, and love. This is The Elements, presented by the Look It Up Movement for Community Development. Thank everybody for coming out. Quickly, I want to pass out the sign-in sheet for everybody to sign in. Right before we start with the elements, Sharina, do you have your constellations quiz completed? Okay. I'm going to need a completed version of that quiz as soon as possible. Okay? Thank you. Brother Uriah, thank you for the quiz today. All right, so today we're going to do something a little different. Normally we get right into the... I'm sorry?
You have mine?
Yeah, I have yours. I have your constellations and your ages quiz.
I had finished it. You didn't even check it?
No, I haven't checked it. It looked like it was...
Oh, because I didn't fill in the signs.
You mean the constellations, you didn't fill in the signs? No, I didn't check it. So, you know. Normally we get right into the lesson, but today I want to introduce some vocabulary before we start the lesson today. I kind of want to give a brief synopsis, some background information, because I'm also going to be doing something a little different, and that's reading directly from the LIU Student Handbook. I'll be reading directly from the handbook today. Reason being is because there's a lot of heavy stuff that we need to cover, and the way that it's written in the handbook, it puts it in the most concise form for us. So with that being the case, I'm just going to read directly from the handbook. So I want to give y'all my little synopsis, okay, before we begin. In the student handbook, which, you know, of course we give these classes for free here at the Albany Branch Library every Thursday at 6 p.m. We give these classes for free. Anybody is welcome to attend. If you come the first time, then the next time that you show up, you'll have a folder and you'll have a quiz and you'll be in the class. But there is some, you know, things that are exclusive to the student handbook, you know, because we do want you to purchase the student handbook, and we do want, you know, your support for the movement. I mean, we have to have it. We try to do as much as we can in these lessons, in these free lessons. They also are available online, www.lookitupmovement.com. You can look at these lessons, all past lessons and everything for free. The reason why I said that is because in the student handbook, you'll find that there's a way more detailed illustration of what I'm about to show you now, okay? And that illustration is a good way for you to kind of get a good depiction of what you see now. If you're having trouble viewing what's on the board, you know, just get the student handbook is the best I can say, okay? Now, a couple of things. I want to give, yes sir. Oh, the Zoom.
I was just asking if you wanted that.
Can you see it?
Zoom in on
Yeah, let's just give them a Zoom, because we're gonna deal heavily with the board, so we can give them a Zoom for a while here. And that's how it happened. So we know we gotta correct that this time. So in order to get a clear understanding of what's going to be read to you guys in this lesson, we need to discuss Ethiopia in general, okay? Now, I want y'all to use y'all's imagination because I'm not the best artist. So I didn't do the outline of the entire landmass, okay? Again, refer to the student handbook or any map of Egypt. But this line right here represents the Nile Valley. Okay? This line represents the Nile Valley. Okay? And I just did this just to give a kind of a brief description of Upper and Lower Kim. There was a time when the Nile Valley used to flow from north to south. Okay? There was a shift in the land that caused the Nile Valley to begin to flow from south to north. As a result, Egypt, what they call Egypt was split into two parts, upper and lower. This became Upper Kim in the southern part because the Nile Valley flows this way. So this became, and there was a land lift, so this became Upper Kim in the south and Lower Kim in the north. It's kind of confusing because Lower Kim appears to be above Upper Kim. Okay? But it was called Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt, or it is called Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt by modern scholars. In southern Egypt, or southern Kim, which is also referred to as Upper Kim, you have the city of Thebes, which is really important. Okay? In northern Kim, you have the city of Memphis, okay, which is really important. In northern or lower Kim, you have Memphis. Okay, now, first off, we want to start and we're going to do a timeline. And I want you guys to take this timeline down. You're going to need to take these dates down. Dates are really important. If anybody has looked at the quiz, you know there's some math problems up there. The math problems have to do with these dates. So we want you to get these dates down pat. The first date that we're dealing with is 10,500 BC. That's 10,500 BC. Okay? From the lesson of the ages, can anybody tell me what is significant about 10,500 BC?
The pyramids.
Negative. Close.
It was the time that first, when the Greeks supposedly was supposed to.
Negative. What age? Really quick.
Yeah.
That's the age of Leo.
Leo.
So it would have to be the Sphinx.
The Sphinx. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the age of Leo, which is 10,500 BC. Okay? I'm gonna do my timeline over here. Brother, can they see the whole board? They can see all of this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to put my timeline here. 10,500 BC. Okay? The Sphinx. Okay? 10,500 BC, you have the Sphinx. Okay. That's important. We're going to note that simply because it takes a lot of civilization, it takes a lot of understanding of the elements to build the Sphinx. It takes a whole, we can't, us four, even begin to imagine how to build the Sphinx right now. And if we were the only people on earth, we would be a primitive culture. And we couldn't do that. So we want to point out that the Sphinx existed in 10,500 BC, 10,500 years before the birth of Christ. Okay? Now, about, I think 15, if we do this math, 10,500 minus 3,100. Can somebody do that math for me on the calculator?
3,100, you say?
Uh-huh.
That's 7,400.
7,400.